So we're here at El Viso today, the biggest ITV station in the Malaga province and the newest. It's been here for about 3 years now. They apparently they hold the logistical, it's essentially logistics here now. All those offices at the top. Used to be Sevilla, now it's here. They're telling me that they're bringing more of the big bods from the ITV to work here in El Viso, which is great for Malaga. But anyway, we're not here to talk about them. You can see in the background that the panel there, I've done a fucking point, boom, that's where you have to wait for your number to come up, and it will say a number and a line, and once your number comes up, your number plate that is, then you go through that line. So today we are with a Peugeot 407 from Belgium. We're registering it here, but I just wanted to go through a bit of a checklist really of what they check when you come to these tests and what they do. So first of all, you go in, you register your paperwork. Obviously if you've got a Spanish card, just hand them your permiso and your ficha técnica. If you've got a matriculation, then there's more paperwork you have to hand in, like certificates of conformity, ficha técnica reducida, documents of the owner, etc. But anyway, so we're at the point where we've handed in all the paperwork, we've been granted our appointment, and we're here ready to pass the appointment. We've paid our money. So if it's a normal ITV, it can be anywhere around €50. If it's a registration IT for somebody who's registered a vehicle, they're around €150. So what do they check? Well, first of all, when you go in, they generally pull the car in and they will check the emissions. Okay, so around the back, let's go on the back. The emissions, obviously, they stick a rod up the exhaust pipe there. And on some occasions when the vehicle is newer, they will also use the machine. They'll stick the engine checking machine, which somebody will tell me what that's called. Not being a mechanic, I don't really know what it's called. And basically that checks for any failures in the engine for newer vehicles. So vehicles older than 2011, I believe they don't do that now. They just stick the rods at the back, and there's also concessions for vehicles which are older than that. But whatever happens, you normally get an emissions check, so you've got to make sure your engine's running correctly, and it's always good to have a service before you come. Round the front, let's get started. So obviously what they do at the front, they open the bonnet and they check that the brakes are working correctly. Ask you to pump the pedal a few times to make sure there's movement with the brake fluid. They check the oil. I've had vehicles which have failed because they haven't had the oil in it. So low, they failed. They also check the window wipers, the water, make sure the state of these are good. The window wipers are good, because if not, it's going to impair your vision on the road. Check the windscreen, make sure there's no cracks in it. They also check the lights. Now the lights, the fog lights have to be working evidently, all your indicators, your side lights, everything has to be working. But very important to know, if you've got a British car, the headlights have to be left-hand drive. Okay, so you conform for left-hand drive driving with the correct kick, the correct light dispersion, which is different to right-hand drive. Okay, so right-hand drive vehicles who drive in the UK have a different light dispersion, which illuminate different parts of the road, and you must make sure that your vehicle, if it comes from the UK, has headlights which are suitable for left-hand driving. Okay, so that's that. They also check the state of the number plate, make sure the number plate's okay. If it's a Spanish car, if your number plate's a bit ripped or not readable or even dirty, they'll make sure you clean it, or they'll give, that's generally an advisory, to be honest, unless it's really bad. I've had that as well on my own cars, but yeah, they do check the state of the number plate. All right, and then they do check the general bodywork, make sure there's nothing hanging off. It has to be in generally good condition. Moving around to the side here, window tints. This vehicle's got window tints in it. Now in Spain, if it's window tints are installed by the manufacturer, you'll see a little V in next to the numbers of the conformity of the window, because each window has a little series of numbers on it. If there's a V, you're fine. It means the tints have been put in by the manufacturer. If there's no V, then it means they've been put in post-manufacture, and you have to have a certificate to prove so. A lot of countries in the EU and the UK do not ask for this certificate. They just let you put in the window tints, and that's fine. But here they do in Spain. So if you are bringing a vehicle in, or you've put window tints in yourself, and you haven't got a certificate to prove it's been done, which is like a certificate of conformity just for the tints, then you're more likely going to get a fail on that. Alright, so we're going to move around the back. And the back, obviously all the lights have to work. If you've got a British car, remember the rule of the fog lights. British car, the fog light has to be on the left hand side, purples or in the middle. It can't just be a single fog light on the right. The reason that I have put these seats up, there's actually 7 seats in. It's always a good idea in the car to have all the seat belts and the seat's open, the seatbelt's plugged in, ready to go. And oh, my mate's calling me there. Yeah, well, but yeah, that's here. And if you look here, it's got tow bar. Tow bar has to be in the certificate of conformity, because if not, it will be. They'll tell you to take it off. Illegal reforms, they call them here. Anything that's been added to the vehicle, which isn't part of the certificate of conformity or mentioned on there, has to have paperwork to legalise it, or they'll tell you to take it off. Inside, they always check that there's no lights on the dashboard, engine light, airbag light. Any lights will be a fail, and always make sure that the steering lock works and the seat belts are done. And I'm going to have to shoot off because my mate over there is telling me they've given us a call. Yay!